first of all, you must understand the fact that before things begin to manifest in the physical, they first of all have had a spiritual undertone. In other words, before you see your teenager manifesting some kind of characteristics that you do not want to see, such as telling lies or stealing or becoming wayward or becoming stubborn, some of these things are seeds that have been sown or things that have been established in the spiritual before they begin to manifest in the physical. And for you to be able to handle such issues, you need to be a spiritually inclined parent. Now, battles are first of all won in the realms of the spirit. You cannot fight a spiritual battle if you're not spiritual. You cannot detect a spiritual battle if you're not spiritually sensitive. If you are not spiritually inclined, you wouldn't even identify the difference between something manifesting on the physical and something originating from the spiritual. The fight for the lives and souls of teenagers in our generation is overwhelming because they are the future of the world. And because he knows that if he has his holds over the lives of our teenagers, he can have access to so many other areas. He can have access to our families. He can have access even to the next generation and even to children yet unborn. As a parent, it is important for you to understand the spiritual undertone, spiritual things that happen before they begin to manifest in the physical. So when you see your teenager begin to steal, begin to misbehave, you see stubbornness, you see waywardness coming in, these are seeds that have been sown in the spiritual before they begin to manifest in the physical. In order for you to tackle things like this, you must become a spiritually sensitive parent. The devil doesn't want our teenagers to be who God has destined them to be. And if we sit back and watch, the devil is going to win this battle because he's investing a lot in capturing the hearts and souls of our teenagers. We see a lot of people investing so much in millions and in billions just to see that our teenagers are lost to the devil. Yes, we cannot sit back anymore. We cannot sit back anymore and watch the devil steal the blessings of God that God has given to us. Remember when you gave birth to these children, they were little, they were babies, you carried them, you loved them, you nurtured them through from pregnancy all the way to delivery, and here they are with you growing, and now they are teenagers. This is a wake-up call for every parent to sit up spiritually and cover your teenagers in the place of prayer. You must learn to intercede for them because the devil is working day and night, just seeking to devour them, seeking to steal their souls. If we sit back and let the devil do this, we are not just letting the devil win over our teenagers. Think about their children, think about your grandchildren. Now, our teenagers go to schools. They mix up with different children coming from different backgrounds who have different experiences. Some of them are coming from homes where their parents are atheists. Some of them are coming from homes where their parents do not even believe in Jesus, who do not believe in the power of God, who do not believe in the salvation of souls, who do not even believe in the reality of heaven and hell. So they fed their children with a lot of things. And when their children come into the school premises, they carry some of those spirits along with them, seeking for who they can influence and who they can network with and who they can rob of some of the things that they carry from their house in time. You need to learn to cover your child in prayers. It's one thing to talk about what is good and what is bad. You can tell them, oh, this is good and this is bad, but you need to cover them in the place of prayer. Every day, commit them into the hands of the Lord. In schools globally, the devil is working, feeding teenagers with a lot of ideologies that are not in line with the principles of the Bible, that are not in line with the principles of God. We need to stand in the place of prayer to ensure that our teenagers are not going to fall for this kind of wrong doctrines, to ensure that our teenagers are not going to be victims of the things that the devil is trying to do even in this season. Even if you don't remember anything from this episode, remember the importance of standing in the place of prayers for them. It's amazing how God works. As you say those words of prayers over your teenager is covered. The spirit of your teenager resists these evils that are being taught. We have a lot of countries in the world right now where they talk about LGBTQ and all of that. And it's almost like, okay, this is generally accepted. A lot of teenagers are even involved in this kind of thing. Sometimes they are bothered because they don't even know how to get free from it. They have already gotten involved in it and they don't know how to get free. We need to stand in the gap of prayers for our teenagers because sometimes they cannot pray for themselves. Sometimes they do not even understand what it really feels like to be prayed for. But as a parent, it is your role to stand in the place of prayer for them. Bring them before the throne of grace every day and decree over their lives, even if they are not with you while they're in school. You can pray and say, my child will not be lost. My teenager will not be influenced by the kingdom of darkness. My teenager will not be influenced by the plans of the wicked ones. My teenager will turn a deaf ear to everything that is contrary to the word of God. The more you do these things, the more you make these declarations over their lives, the more their spirit is confirmed into who God has designed them to be. But by the time you leave this to chance and expect them to grow into adults just because they are growing, you see that this devil will work. The devil is also working in the realm of the spirit. He's manipulating their hearts, he's manipulating their thoughts, he's manipulating their thinking patterns. He's making them see the things which are not even supposed to be acceptable as though they should be acceptable. And it's only when we stand in the place of prayer for them that when they hear these things, the seeds of prayers that are sown begin to bear fruits of righteousness within their spirits, and their lives begin to be changed and transformed. We've seen teenagers that have been transformed from being bad influences to being a new person as a result of the power of prayers. Don't give up on that teenager. It might look as if there might be no hope. It might look as if, oh, your teenager has gone way beyond it and there's no way to get them back. But I want to encourage you today that you can win back your teenager through prayers. You can win back your teenager through prayers. There's no teenager that is way too gone. There's no teenager that cannot turn back from his bad ways. There's no teenager that cannot be restructured or remolded. But you need to stand in the place of prayers. Don't just talk. Many parents are just talking. Don't just talk. You need to develop yourself spiritually to be able to stand in the place of prayer for your teenagers. So you develop yourself spiritually. Stand in the place of prayers for them, and you will see results. You see how things will get to turn around and how their lives will be changed. I just want to encourage you in this episode that you build up yourself to stand in the place of prayers for your teenagers. They need it. Your teenager needs your prayers. Your teenager will succeed better when he or she is being prayed for by you. There's that power of parenting that covers a child. There's a power that covers a child when the prayers come from the parents. Sow seeds of prayers for that teenager. It might not even be a direct parent to that teenager, but there might be a teenager around you that needs seeds of prayers. I want to encourage you today, admonish you today, sow seeds of prayers for that teenager and let the work of God be perfected in their lives. I hope that you are able to pick up a word or two and you are encouraged that you shouldn't give up on that teenager. They are never far too gone. They are never far too gone. Stand in the place of prayer for them, and you would see how God is going to turn around that situation from whatever it is into what you desire. Stay blessed. I love you once again. It's Coach Isiomah. And if you've not signed up your teen for our mentorship class, then I think it's something you need to check up and do so immediately. Thank you so much. God bless you.